Hi everyone, my name is Keely and I'm the owner and creator here at Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for another soap making video. We are doing another gemstone soap today, and today we're doing a Jasper, which is known as Vogesite. It's a really pretty little gemstone with lots of different colours throughout it. Let's go and see how I make it. Alright, let's get into this one. You can see I've got some new gloves on today. I'm going to see how I go with them. I'm thinking I should have bought the next size up. I am down to my very, very last box of nitrile gloves, and the supermarket just has not had them in for 2 or 3 months now, and my other supplier for them, they haven't had them in, and they said they just don't know when they're going to come in. So while I was doing that sort of wander through the aisle, let's see if they do have them, I spotted some of these. I'll grab a pack of them. So I spotted these. So they're an Ansel sensitive touch. So they are, I think the sensitive is meant to be that they are they're good for people with sensitive skin, but you actually can also feel well through them. There's 3 layers on them, and it's got like an easy glide on underneath. And the good thing with them is that you can actually wash them and use them a number of times. So I thought we'd give those a go and see what they are like, and hopefully they will do until I can actually get the nitrile gloves in. I'll just make sure that I am washing them in between all of my uses. So we'll see how we go, see if I can actually feel through them, make sure that they're not too tight. I think I should have gone up 1 size, but we will see. Anyway, I have got my sodium hydroxide distilled water solution in here. I'm going to give this a very quick blitz, and then we are going to split it out for colours. The colours I am going to use today, I have got some Grandeur Mica. Now I don't want as much of this one as I do the others, so I'll use a smaller jug. This one here, I am using some Mocha Mica. We're going for some very earthy tones with this soap, and you'll see why once I show you that stone. And then finally in this one, I have some titanium dioxide, and I've also added in some vintage rose as well. I want it to be white, but with a touch of pink through it. And again, you'll see why once we get those rocks out to go on this one. Into my big bucket here, I am going to add in some Rosewood Mica. This one's a really pretty mica. It's almost like a synthetic, but it's not quite. I think it's got a slightly larger cut of grain of mica than some of the others. So it does give a really pretty sparkle, but it's quite a deep wine sort of red colour. I'm going to get my colours mixed in, and then we'll put our fragrance in. Colours mixed in, and I am going to admit that's probably a little bit pinker, more purpler than what I was aiming for, but we'll work with it. Fragrance I've got today is green tea and lemongrass, which has notes of lemongrass, mandarin, cyclamen, green tea leaf, amber and rose, and it is such a pretty delicate fragrance. And the reason I chose it is because our stone today, which is Vogesite, is the Stone of Innocense, and whenever I smell that sort of green tea sort of fragrance, it's just so light, and as I said, just has that sort of real innocence about it. And it's just such a beautiful soft sort of fragrance, but it does work well in soaps. So as I said, this stone is the Stone of Innocense, and it offers support and guidance, and it's very much so about focused on past, future, and past, present, and future, I should say. And it helps you shed the past and enjoy the present and plan for the future. So it can bring new hope, strength, and encouragement, and it works in powers of 3. So always expect there to be 3 things that it will bring to you. It will help you see the path that you have taken and how to get to where you are going. Now, interestingly, this stone is associated with all the chakras. I couldn't find the zodiac, but I've got a feeling it may actually represent all of them, because this stone represents the universe and all of the elements. So it's one of those sort of all-powerful sort of stones. It really is very, very pretty. I I am going to attempt to do another one of those faux funnel in the pot pours that I like doing. I've done it a couple of times and I really like the effect that it gives, and it just matches in with certain ones of these stones here. It is playing, this fragrance is playing really nicely at the moment, so it's going to give me that perfect consistency to do this pour. I'll finish getting this fragrance mixed in, then we'll get our pouring jug. Alright, so I've got myself my pouring jug here. Let's see how much mess we can make today. So I'm just going to very simply do a faux funnel pour in here. So I'm going to pour each of my colours into the centre of each other so we can make concentric circles. I'm only going to put in little bits of the green, and you'll see when I show you the stone why. Not green, gold. Oh, I'm losing the plot today. Let me get the rest of these in. But it is now time to pour this into our mold. Now while I'm doing this, I'm trying to decide whether to pour it into the middle and let it go or pour it from the end. I think I'm going to pour it from the end and then move my jug along it. So depending how you actually pour into your mold will also give you very different sort of effects as well. And I think this way is going to give me a really, really pretty swirl. It is looking absolutely gorgeous as I'm pouring it in. I think that pinky colour, although it was a bit brighter, I think it is going to look absolutely gorgeous with all of those other colours. Let's get that. Ooh, that's going to be really, really pretty on the top. I'm first of all going to scrape these containers out, then I'm going to pour that on the top because I think that is going to have a really pretty swirl through it. Looking really, really pretty. I'm going to leave this one sit here for about 10 minutes, then we'll come back and we will put the gemstones on and I'll clean up all my mess. So here is our Vogesite, and it is just so pretty, all those tones of red and those pinky colours mixed in with those earthy browns. I was really, really drawn into this one. So you can see what I was trying to attempt to do with that sort of pinky colour. I was trying to mimic those sort of colours of that stone, and then we've got those really dark brown patches through there as well. I'm hoping by doing that faux funnel in the pot swirl I can kind of replicate some of those sort of layers, but they also swirl together. Each of these stones are so individual and unique, but you can really see if I just place that over the top there, it kind of really just blends straight into that soap there. So let's start getting these on at the top. Now there's really not a lot out there about these stones. They were possibly only actually discovered in the early 20th century. Now that's not to say that they're only a relatively new rock, because at the end of the day these rocks do take many, many, many thousands if not millions of years to actually form. It's just not been something that we've actually really discovered and used a lot of. This is actually a form of Jasper, and it is predominantly found in South Africa, and it has lots of multicolours to it. So they go, as you can see, from those sort of yellow, green, red, brown and ivory. It is an igneous rock, so it needs heat to actually form. So all those minerals that are present have undergone a really high heat, and it turns it into this Vogesite Jasper. And that is pretty much all I could find about this rock. Some of these gemstones that I have been finding when we've gone to this wholesaler, they are things I have never seen before. So I've really enjoyed actually doing the research on them as well. So I do hope you have enjoyed those. Now some of you were a bit concerned when I put out my last sort of, I think they were the August videos, and I said I was doing them all in 1 week, and you were concerned that I wasn't going to be doing any more gemstone soaps. Now don't worry about that, I will be doing them. My aim is to, at the moment I'm looking to release 4 every month, but I'm thinking I may drop that back to 3, just depending upon how quickly some of these are actually selling. But it was more about not bombarding you with a gemstone soap after gemstone soaps. I did them all in 1 week, but don't worry, we do have plenty of gemstone soap videos to bring out for you. That stone is really lost in the colours of there, but you can actually still see it from this side. I think I have got all of those lined up in there. They are a relatively thin stone. They're thin and long, these stones are. That one is definitely not lined up. Let's grab one of my little skewers and just knock it along a little bit so that our wire doesn't cut into it. I've got a feeling that my lines actually don't match up on either side of my mold here. Right, that is looking really good. I'm going to leave this one sit overnight, then we're going to come back and we'll see what pattern we've got on the inside. We are now ready to cut into our soap, so let's get this one all lined up. You can see I've got my blue gloves back on again today. I have decided to keep one set of these gloves specifically for cutting the soaps, and then the other gloves that you saw me use at the beginning of the video, I am actually going to go buy myself some more because they were really nice to use, but I think I'm actually going to go up a size. Even though my hand fit in the sort of sizing area, I think I just need to go up that one more size, just to make them so they're not as tight on my hand. But let's take a look and see what we've got on the inside of this one. Oh my god! Oh my goodness, guys. Look at the inside of that. How gorgeous and amazing are those swirls. I am so happy. Don't think I could ever replicate this again. That is just, they are absolutely amazing. It looks like some sort of tribal artwork in there. Some of the stones it does actually really match in with. Let me see if I can find one on here. So if we sort of took that sort of stone on the top, you can see how those swirls really match in with the top of that one. I am so stoked with how this one has turned up. It's really quite interesting how this faux funnel in the pot swirl can produce so many different types of soap. So the ones that I've done it for, so we did it on the Amazonite first, and it gave that sort of real watery sort of look, kind of lots of layers in there with the odd swirl. I then did it on the lapis lazuli soap as well, and it gave some real sort of interesting drop swirls in as I did it, and this one has just given lots of really tight swirls all the way through. It is just such a wonderful technique to use. Really pleased with how these have come up, and I know I'm never ever going to replicate this design ever again. So this is an absolute gorgeous soap. I know I say that about a lot of mine, but I'm really pleased with this one. I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made this soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one and take care of yourselves, and I will see you then. Bye.